You're about to see something you never have. The late, great Charlie Munger's investing genius was perhaps rivaled only by his comedic comebacks, and that's why we're revisiting some of the most enlightening responses he had to the world of modern finance, and I think you'll understand where he's coming from, because as it has become easier than ever to become a finance guru on the internet, it's also become more important than ever for the average person to call out fakes and separate the wheat from the chaff. Obviously, this is not financial advice, but subscribe to the channel and watch one such moment from his career before I tell you more about him.
If you take the modern world, where people are trying to teach you how to come in and trade actively in stocks, I regard that as roughly equivalent to trying to induce a bunch of young people to start off on heroin.
Everybody could be a billionaire. Pay to play. I'll never forget, these guys paid $12,000 each to sit in that chair.
It is really stupid. And when you're already rich, to make your money by encouraging people to get rich by trading.
If you're a millionaire, why sell a course?
And there are people on the TV, another wonderful place, and they say, I have this book that will teach you how to make 300% a year.
Millionaire booklet's going to give you 8 steps, and guess what?
And all you have to do is pay for shipping, and I will mail it to you.
First, you're going to pay shipping.
How likely is it that a person who had suddenly found a way to make 300% a year would be trying to sell books on the internet to you? And it's ridiculous. And yet, I've described modern commerce. And the people that do this all day think they're useful citizens.
You're giving away your free book. You're just trying to sell me stuff. Of course I am. I have no shame. I have no guilt. I have no hesitation.
But they mislead you on purpose. I get tired of it. And I don't think it's right.
Charlie had a classic way to put it, but the online course trend only seems to be accelerating, and here's the truth. E-learning is a genuine enterprise with a market size over $185 billion, but have you noticed just how frequently you come across half-baked and rehashed information by online finance gurus packaged into courses, all by promising you the moon and the sun, without taking names a lot of the people that flesh their style, and most often a get-rich-quick formula don't tell you that they're the ones getting rich quick off the backs of people lured into cash grab courses. Obviously, there's nothing wrong with teaching something online, but it's impossible to deny how modern online courses have become a pyramid scheme of sorts with very little substance to them. I'm sure you asked yourself this: if someone is really making hundreds of thousands of dollars in dropshipping or millions in crypto, why would they need to spend months crafting a course to teach other people the same thing? Wouldn't that be a bad use of their time? And even more so, isn't it simply saturating the market and increasing their competition? Well, perhaps people are starting to catch on to it now, especially 4 years after the lockdowns of 2020 really saw online course sellers be provided a landmine of opportunity. So while you're browsing the internet among the hustle culture we live in today, understand that there's more than enough people willing to take your money by selling your dreams as products. There's a few ominous signs that should perk your ears up. It's the bait of a supposed free product like an ebook or video. First, that is asks for your email, which is then used to send phishing links, bad products, and upsells, and then there's the infamous pay for shipping scam, where prospective buyers are told that the book or product is free, and all they need to do is pay for the shipping, and from there the buyers have to pay disproportionate costs for shipping, which eventually profits the seller. Remember, someone like Charlie Munger, who truly had a wealth of knowledge to offer, wouldn't have sold cash grab courses just to get a few bucks out of you. Unfortunately, the de-evolution of truly serious and substantial learning into cheap courses selling is visible in the most online industries. Take, for example, the crypto space, where truly informative conferences on Bitcoin more than a decade ago had a very dull and serious vibe to them. Now the online space looks a lot more scammy and is overcrowded by people looking to make some quick money off of you. But that's just the start of it, because someone like Charlie Munger foresaw how bad financial advice floating around was only going to be accelerated in the new digital age, and watch his incredible comebacks and retorts that also hold a lot of insight for those willing to see it.
Those of you who are about to enter business school or who are there, I recommend you learn to do it our way, but at least until you're out of school, you have to pretend to do it their way.
People don't seem to get that point. You have any idea why, Charlie?
Warren, if people weren't so often wrong, we wouldn't be so rich. Yeah, I think you would understand any presentation using the word EBITDA if every time you saw that word, you just substituted the phrase bullshit earnings. So, no, I'm optimistic about life. If I can be optimistic when I'm nearly dead, surely the rest of you can handle a little inflation. And of course, that's the other advice. The best way to get what you want in life is to deserve what you want. How could it be otherwise? It's not crazy enough so that the world is looking for a lot of undeserving people to reward. Everybody wants fiscal virtue, but not quite yet. They're like that guy who felt that way about sex. He was willing to give it up, but not quite yet. Well, you don't want to be like the motion picture executive in California, and they said the funeral was so large because everybody wanted to make sure he was dead. It was investment banker-aided fraud. Now, not exactly novel.
That does not mean we approve of every buyback at all, though. I mean, we've seen...
No. I think some people just buy it to keep the stock up, and that, of course, is insane and immoral. But apart from that, it's fine.
I've listened to so many nonsensical cost of capital discussions that...
I've never heard an intelligent one.
Yeah.
Well, I can't give you a formulaic approach because I don't use one. If you want a formula, you should go back to graduate school. They'll give you lots of formulas that won't work.
Charlie's big on lowering expectations.
Absolutely. That's the way I got married. My wife lowered her expectations.
That's a rare combination indeed, someone with serious financial acumen wrapping it up in a biting wit, and that's what made Charlie Munger's insights so accessible and relatable. It's sad that in the world that is connected as ever, that there are going to be people looking to capitalize on it unfairly, and in some sense they've always existed and always will. It's just the power of the internet has sent a lot of these money-grabbing schemes into overdrive, which means it's more important than ever before to carefully plan your financial steps. This is an era where the individual will need to grow smarter because every level of naivete is another vacuum for scammers and fake financial gurus to exploit. Let me know in the comments how you think we can do that, because there's no doubt that we need to invent new ways of guarding people in the world of online finance as the old ways gradually fall by the wayside.